Hi, everyone. Dale Shadbezian here with Jim from SCORE. And this month we're talking about, that SCORE provides free and confidential advice to small businesses. I periodically receive advice. And Jim, we were talking about cash flow. It's springtime. We've made it through the winter. The sun's out. What kind of recommendations do you have for cash flow, getting ready for maybe some uptick in business, et cetera?
Well, thanks, Dale, and good morning. Cash flow is a very, very important topic for small businesses to pay attention to. More small businesses fail because of liquidity problems than any other reason. So staying on top of your cash flow and maintaining an accurate cash flow forecast is very important. There are certain things that you can do at this time of year because it's a time when most businesses on the Cape or seasonal businesses, they have more outflow than they do inflow as they're getting ready for the season to kick off. Things you can do. Number one, you can have put in place a working capital line of credit from either a traditional lender or from an online lender that can provide you with cash resources to make sure that you can be positioned properly to gear up for the season. Second, there are service businesses where you could adopt the practice of billing people for an annual contract and giving them a discount so that they pay early. Mm-hmm. That could accelerate the inflow of cash for you at a time when things are slower. You could be careful about how much inventory you buy. No one wants to be in a position where they don't have an appropriate level for their business when they open, but recognize that tying up cash in inventory stretches your cash resources. So buy what you need to buy, not what you'd like to have on hand. Be careful with your payables. This is a time of year where you can take advantage of the amount of time that people give you. Everybody wants to be a good customer. Everybody wants to make sure they maintain good relationships with their suppliers. But if you have terms, if you have 30 days to pay something, don't pay it in 10. It's your money. Pay it on a timely basis. And if you see that things are getting particularly tight, then you may slow down payables a little more, or you may try to reach out to customers to get them to pay you in advance, just to make sure that you don't find yourself in a temporary liquidity crunch. The thing that you need to do is maintain an accurate cash flow forecast. Always be looking at it to make sure that you anticipate trouble before it arrives. And that you then have the opportunity to deal with it. Because cash, you'll hear it all the time. Cash is king. And the reason it is that it is. You can survive anything so long as you don't run out of money.
That's a great, I love that. TLC, temporary liquidity crunch, and cash is king. Those are my two takeaways. And the forecasting is hard. I think it's something we're so focused on the day-to-day that looking ahead part. I know personally, I've learned to do it once a week, the same hour every week. I go through, I do that projection. I project out 12 months.
And it doesn't need to be fancy.
It doesn't need to be fancy, right?
You can do it on a simple piece of paper. You can do it on a spreadsheet on your computer. It doesn't have to be precise. What you're trying to do is create a reasonable estimate of the cash you expect to get in over the next 12 months and what you know you're going to have to lay out. And the reason you do that is that you're going to be making decisions all the time. Do I buy a piece of equipment? Do I load up on inventory? Do I hire somebody? And you can only do that if you can see what impact it is going to have on your short and intermediate cash flow requirements. So be smart, keep that up to date. And everybody will tell you there's 10 things you need to do and you only have time for 6. But as Dale said, find a way to have the discipline to once a week, look at your cash flow and look at the forecast and see where it's off and where it's on, adjust it appropriately, because you can't make smart decisions about your business unless you know where you stand from a cash and liquidity point of view.
Well, that's great advice. We really appreciate you taking the time out today to give us some advice here on cash flow. And don't forget, folks, SCORE, free and confidential mentoring. SCORE is very much in business, working over Zoom, working over the phone. If you remember what these things are, that mode of communication. And again, thank you, Jim, for your advice today.
Happy to do it, Dale. Good luck, everybody.